Welcome to Gichagi, a village where the heartbeat of life is felt in every sunrise, and the spirit of community flows as freely as the rivers that nourish the land. Here in Gichagi, the people have a simple but joyful way of life. They rise with the sun and set out to work in the fields, for they are farmers by tradition, cultivating the soil that sustains them season after season. Once upon a time, in a little village called Gichagi, there lived a wise, kind old woman named Mukami. Every evening, as the sun went down, all the children and grown-ups would come together under a big tree called the Magumo tree. They loved to listen to Mukami's stories. Mukami would tell them all about the old times, when their ancestors, the people who lived a long time ago, looked after the land and loved the Magumo trees. She said that these trees whispered stories of everyone who had ever lived in Gichagi. One day, some strangers came to the village in big, shiny cars. They wore fancy clothes and had serious looks on their faces. They told the villagers, "We want to make a big road here. It will be fast and easy for people to travel from one place to another." But there was one problem. To make this new road, the strangers said they needed to cut down some trees, even the big and wise Magumo tree where the villagers gathered every night. The villagers started talking to each other. Some said, "Maybe the road is good. We can earn money and make our lives better through taking our farm produce to Narofai to sell," but others were worried. They said, "If we cut down the Magumo tree, we lose our stories and our heritage. We lose the voices of our ancestors." Mukami watched the villagers, and she felt sad. She knew that the Magumo tree was more than just a tree, it was like a wise old friend. That night, Mukami took some villagers and children to the Magumo tree. The stars twinkled above them as they walked through the quiet forest. "Come closer," she said when they reached the Magumo tree. "Touch the tree and listen." They put their hands on the tree's bark. Suddenly, they felt something warm and soft, like a gentle heartbeat. It was as if the tree was alive, speaking to them, telling them stories of the people who had lived before them. The next morning, everyone felt different. They told everyone what they had felt and heard from the Magumo tree. "The tree has our stories, we must protect it at all cost." Mukami nodded, and so did many others. The whole village came together, and they told the strangers, "We want the road, but we must save our Magumo tree, too." The strangers listened and agreed. They decided to make the road a little farther from the Magumo trees so the tree and the village's stories could stay safe. Years went by, but every evening, Mukami still gathered the children under the Magumo tree. They still listened to her stories, and the tree still whispered back with all the voices of the past, telling everyone in village that they were never alone. They were part of something bigger, something that would always remember them. And so, the Magumo tree stayed tall and strong, just like the people of Gichagi. The villagers knew they could welcome change and still protect their heritage, letting the tree keep their stories safe for generations to come. And every time the wind rustled through the magumo tree's branches, it sounded like whispers, telling everyone in Gichagi that they were never alone. They were part of something bigger, something that would always remember them always.